Lesson 1D, exponents and polynomial operations. And guess what? Just like everything else in Unit 1, it is a review from something you learned in Algebra 1. Okay, so we're going to start with a definition, like terms. So like terms are terms that have the same variable or variables, if they have more than one, and exponents. So every variable and exponent in that term has to be the same in order for them to be like terms. If they are not like terms, you cannot combine them. When we combine like terms, we are going to combine coefficients. Coefficients, remember, are the numbers in front of the variables that are being multiplied, and keep the exponents the same. Okay, so in this first example, I have a 5xy, so I'm going to go through and look for anything else that also has an xy. So I have 5xy, and then here I have plus 3xy. So combine the coefficients. 5 plus 3 is 8, and the variables and exponents stay the same. So 8xy. Okay, now I have 6x squared, and there's another x squared term right here. Combine the coefficients. Positive 6 minus 2 is positive 4x squared. Okay. Negative 9y and positive 8y squared, those are not the same. Okay, so they cannot be combined because this y is squared and that one is not. So I simply bring them down, and this is my simplified answer. I can't put anything else together because they have different exponents or variables. Okay, when we have these things being subtracted, a lot of times people will forget the subtraction sign. So what I like to do is treat this as a -1 that we are going to distribute. Okay, so my first set of parentheses is going to stay the same, and in my second set, everything's going to be multiplied by -1. So this is now -9p squared minus p plus 4p to the third. And now I'm going to start with the biggest exponent and work my way down. So the biggest exponent is p to the third. So any term that has a p to the third, I'm going to circle and combine. So 7 plus 4 would be 11p to the third. And then those are done. Then I have p squared. Alright, so -3 minus 9 is -12p squared. And then finally, 2p minus p. Remember there's a 1 here, so 2 minus 1 would be positive 1p. Or you could write just plus p. You don't have to put the 1 there. Okay, now we are going to look at operations when we have variables with exponents. So these are also known as the laws of exponents. So first thing we want to make sure we understand what an exponent actually means. So if I have x to the fourth, that is equivalent to x times x times x times x. There are 4 of them all being multiplied. Okay, and I can go the other direction as well. If I have 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, blah, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 3's there. So this is equivalent to 3 to the 7th power. Okay, so if you remember from Algebra 1, there are laws or rules or shortcuts, whatever you want to call them, for doing these things. But I am not going to give you those shortcuts, because if I just give them to you, you probably won't remember them, just like you probably don't remember them from Algebra 1. So I'm going to show you how to work these problems out, and then you can figure out the rule or shortcut, because chances are if you have to figure it out yourself, you're going to remember it better. Okay, so I am going to use this, what we did up here, to write these things out. So x squared is x times x, and that is being multiplied by x to the third, which is x times x times x. So now I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's. So this is x to the fifth. Okay. Down here I have 2x squared. That is 2 times x being multiplied by 4x to the third. So that's x times x times x. All right. And then in here I can do numbers first, coefficients first. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 x's, so 8x to the fifth. So I want you to pause here I want you to try these two problems, and I want you to see if you could figure out the rule or shortcut. All right, so hopefully you came up with those two answers, and now I want you to put in your guess for the shortcut for multiplying. All right, this time we're going to look at division problems, okay? So same thing, x to the 5th, that would be 5x's, divided by x to the 3rd would be 3x's, and then when we simplify, if I have an x on the top and the bottom, those can cancel, and I'm left with 2x's on the top, or x squared. All right, same thing with this one. So 9, a to the 3rd, b to the 7th, 6, 7, over 2a to the 8th, b to the 4th, okay? So 9 over 2, that cannot be simplified, so I know that's going to be part of my final answer. All right, I can cross out 1, 2, 3 a's here, and that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 a's on the bottom, so a to the 5th. And then over here, I can cross out 1, 2, 3, 4 b's, which leaves me with 1, 2, 3, b to the 3rd on the top. All right, so same thing. You try these two, and then put in your guess for what you think the rule is for dividing. Okay, answers for these two examples, and then here comes your box for your rule. All right, now we've got multiple exponents going on, so a power raised to another power. All right, x squared is x times x, and I want that to the 3rd power, so it means I want this 3 times. So x times x, and then x times x. All right, so that gives me a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's, so this is x to the 6th. Okay, same thing here. 3x squared is 3 times x, and I want that 3 times. So there's 2 times, there's 3 times. So I need to multiply 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3, which is 27, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 x's. All right, you try these two. All right, see if you got those. Boxes come in for your guess to the rule, and then anything you don't get, we're going to go over in class. All right, now we're going to put some rules together, okay? So I'm going to simplify what's in these parentheses first. So 2, and then I have a to the 4th times a to the 4th. That would be a to the 8th because I add those exponents. B squared times b to the 3rd would be b to the 5th. And now all of this is still raised to the 2nd power. All right, 2 to the 2nd power is 4, and then my exponents, the rule is to multiply. 8 times 2 would be 16, and then 5 times 2 would be 10. All right, down here, I'm going to do the same thing. 2b a to the 3rd on the top is going to stay. On the bottom, 2 to the 3rd power is 8. This, if there's no exponent, it's a 1, all right? So 1 times 3 would be 3, so this becomes b to the 3rd. 0 times 3 is 0, so that means these a's I don't have to write anymore, okay? And now I need to simplify this using my division rule. So 2 over 8 would simplify to 1 over 4, okay? This is a b to the 1 up here, so 3 minus 1 would be 2, so I have b squared on the bottom, and a to the 3rd on the top. All right, I want you to try number 2 and 4. All right, check those, and we'll go over things you don't understand in class.